All right, Saturday night at UFC 299, we finally got to see the UFC debut of the highly hyped, the highly anticipated Michael Venom Page. And let me tell you, it did not disappoint. Michael Page has been thrilling fight fans all over the world, okay? Fighting for a number of different organizations in many different forms of combat, whether that's boxing, karate, taekwondo, or good old-fashioned mixed martial arts. The man has been knocking people out in sensational fashion. He's been caving heads in, snapping legs, breaking jaws, okay? And doing it with a style and a flair that has rarely been seen. This man is a knockout artist, okay? He is an artist because those knockouts, the way that he delivers them, the technique, the precision, and the flair, the spinning tornado kicks and stuff, and then the showmanship with it all together, right? The man's a knockout artist, simple as that. And he was an artiste when it came to UFC 299. He was walking out there looking like Michael Jackson, doing a little Israel Adesanya on the way out. I can't dance, so I'm not going to do it. But he put on a show right from the get-go, and he put on a show in the octagon, in the fight, in the only place where it really matters. So let's talk about the fight against Kevin Holland, and then let's talk about why I think he should fight Ian Garry next. So against Kevin Holland, he's been given a tough opponent, a highly ranked fighter with a lot of experience straight away, number 12 in the world, and a man in Kevin Holland that's been in there with the best people in the division, some of the best fighters on the planet. He's beaten some of them as well. People like Ronaldo Jacare Souza. He's been in there also with people like Khamzat Chimaev. Had a 5-round war with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and he broke his hand in that fight in the first round and still went on to fight to the distance, okay? Then he beats Santiago Ponzinibbio, knocks him out cold. Michael Chiesa submits him in the first round in just over 2 minutes. Goes to show, Kevin Holland's no joke. Then he loses to Jack Della Madellana. Split decision, though. And Jack Della Madellana just beat Gilbert Burns Saturday night. We'll talk about that one in a little bit as well. Loses to Jack Della Madellana in a highly entertaining fight, and then goes up against Michael Page on Saturday. And the loss to Michael Page, when you think about the Jack Della Madellana fight and how close that fight was, well, listen, Saturday night, I'm telling you, that wasn't a close fight. I'm a big fan of Kevin Holland as a person and as a fighter, okay? The man is cool as okay? I can't say a negative word about him. But when I'm assessing the fight, there will be a bit of negativity in there because he was frustrated because he just couldn't deal with the speed of Michael Venom Page. Of course, for Page coming in, a lot of pressure, UFC jitters. Here it is. He's in the big show, a chance to really make some life-changing money, to show the world what he's made of against the best fighters on planet goddamn Earth.
How different did it feel, if at all, to fight inside the octagon?
In all honesty, it feels the same in terms of the caliber, how I feel inside, so on and so forth. I do think the UFC got to me a little bit.
And that's what he did. Granted, he didn't get the knockout. We didn't get to see one of these highlight reel finishes. We saw some original stuff in there. We saw some highly creative, rather flamboyant techniques. I mean, that spinning elbow thing that he did, the way that he delivered that, not once, twice, 3 times, and he connected. Unbelievable stuff, right? And he had no pressure. He had no nerves. He was just calm. He was very serene throughout all of it. And the reason I know that is because if you're in there and you're fighting, the pressure's on, the crowd's cheering, everyone's going, "Rah, come on, let's go." They want blood. They want violence. Michael Page has got the hands down. He's loosey-goosey. He's dancing around the octagon. He'll dive in from far away, boom, land a big shot, wobbled Kevin Holland multiple times. And Kevin Holland has never been knocked out. Kevin Holland has got a chin, let me tell you that right now. So Kevin Holland felt that power, right, without question. And if it was anyone else, we might have saw a highlight reel finish from Michael Page, but he didn't get that, right? And that's because of Kevin Holland being so tough. So as I say, he was calm in there. How do I know that? Because he was almost knocking him out and then doing a little dance. He was mocking Kevin Holland. Now, don't get me wrong. When you see somebody mocking a fan favorite like Kevin Holland, you might think, well, that's just disrespectful, okay? But what he's trying to do, he's trying to frustrate Kevin Holland. He's trying to let him know, hey, you don't belong here. You don't deserve it. And having your opponent stand there like that to mock you and dance and all the rest of it, it's compounding the frustration of Kevin Holland. It's letting him know, right, to his face, you can't compete against me. I can stand there and I can mock you. I can dance. I can take the piss because you're offering me no threat right now. So that was forcing Kevin Holland to just get more and more frustrated. It's like if you're playing FIFA, or if you're playing a video game, if you're doing anything and you start to do bad, it all starts to fall apart, right? You're playing FIFA, you're scoring goals, whatever, then you start to lose, it all fucking falls apart. You start shitting the bed, it all goes out the window, you get mad, you smash the gaff up, you break the TV, and you go to bed. Okay, like, this game, it's stupid, I'm not even playing anymore. That's a silly example, but there is some truth to that. Kevin Holland was getting frustrated, so he was starting to fall into the traps of Michael Page. He was starting to give Michael Page more opportunities because he was loading up, he was getting desperate, he was swinging. Now, granted, Page made a couple of mistakes. He did a jumping, spinning back kick, he lost his footing, and Kevin Holland was able to take him down, get on top. But Page got back to his feet. He stayed calm and never really got close to being submitted. And let's remember, Kevin Holland is a black belt at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So the grappling isn't all bad, okay? So all in all, for the most part, Michael Page passed the takedown test. Granted, Kevin Holland could have shot some double leg takedowns. What he was kind of doing was walking into a 50-50 clinch situation where they both had over and underhooks. And then from there, it's kind of harder to take somebody down. You want to land a shot, level change, shoot in, get your hands around the legs, pick them up, put them down. That would have been the way to take down Michael Page. Good luck doing that. I'm just saying on paper, that's what you need to do. So anyway, he passed the test with flying colours. Well done to him. Didn't get the knockout, but hey, you can't knock them all out. Kevin Holland's never been knocked out. So what's next? Where does he go? Well, Michael Page said, listen, he's not here to take part. He's here to take over. Right? No, he said he wants to be the champion. He's 36 years old. In April, he turns 37. So that's why he's fought Kevin Holland, beat a ranked guy. Next fight, he needs to be a step up the rankings. He doesn't want to waste time. And the welterweight division is spicing up in a big, big way. Leon Edwards is the champion. Kamaru Usman #1. Belal Muhammad 2. He's probably fighting Leon. Shavkat Rakhmonov, probably going to fight Jack Della Madellana. We'll talk about that in a minute. Gilbert Burns just got beat off Jack, right? Ian Garry is at #6. I think you leapfrog Michael Page right up to a #6 fight with Ian Garry. Why? Well, they've been talking a bit of shit. Ian Garry's been talking shit. He's been kind of dismissing the threat of Michael Page. Michael Page said, listen, I'd do the same thing. If he was threatened by me, you're not going to give him much opportunity. You're going to talk shit. You're going to discredit me, right?
Do you see him as a guy that could maybe break into the rankings soon and maybe even a future opponent for you one day?
Who's he fighting next?
Kevin Holland in Miami.
There's no way he beats Kevin Holland. So no. There's no way.
So fair play to Michael Page for staying calm. And I'm just saying, as a fan, right, I would love to see that fight. They're both very tall. Ian Garry's 6'3". Michael Page is 6'3". They're both strikers. They're not going to wrestle. We're going to see two tremendously talented strikers throwing down, and it will be a lot of fun because Michael Page's style is kind of a one-shot, blast out of nowhere, fly through the air, hit you with a flying knee, spin around and do a wild elbow or something like that. Where Ian Garry is a bit more traditional, if you will, in his approach. But he's a striker nonetheless. Against Jeff Neal, the crowd was booing because he was circling, he was backing away. Like he was using a smart game plan, to be honest. But the crowd was booing. Well, they wouldn't boo in this one because he's not going to back away all the time. He's going to fight him tooth and nail. He's going to stand and go toe-to-toe. And I just want to see who's the better striker, who's the fastest, because Ian Garry is one of the quickest strikers that we've seen. And the winner of that fight between Michael Page and Ian Garry potentially then would get to fight Leon Edwards in a stadium in the UK. Could you imagine that? Right? So, for all those reasons, Ian Garry, Michael Page, take my money, sign me up, I'll buy a ticket, whether or not I'm working the event or not. I think that would be a sensational matchup. I think just on paper, these two strikers, as tall as they are, as talented as they are, and in terms of fan-friendly matchups, I don't think it gets much better. And it would be very relevant in the division. Ian Garry, whether you like it or not, is closing in on a title fight. One more win, the man gets to fight for a belt. So who do you want that to be? Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Jack Della Madellana? That's probably going to go down because Jack just went out and beat Gilbert Burns. What a fight that was, right? Jack Della Madellana gets the job done with the boxing. This time it was a massive knee to the face. It was a really close fight. Both guys having success with their game plans. Jack always uses the boxing, rips to the body beautifully, but he did get taken down. Gilbert Burns landed a few good shots, landed some nice takedowns, got them out, took the back. But ultimately, in round 3, as Jack was getting up, kind of dislodged him, got him off, got to the feet quicker, showed a higher sense of urgency, landed a beautiful knee, flushed to the mush, put him down, and that was it. So he called out Shavkat Rakhmonov.
There's some scary people in this division, but I'm scariest, and Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think me and you could make a hell of a title eliminator. One of the best in the business. Let's go.
You got to respect Jack Della Madellana. The balls on this kid. Nobody's calling out Shavkat Rakhmonov, but he did. So Shavkat versus Jack Della Madellana and Ian Garry versus Michael Venom Page in kind of a mini welterweight tournament to find out who's going to be the next challenger for the winner of Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards, let's be honest. Anyway, there's the video. Subscribe and ring the bell. What do you think about those matchmakings? And yeah, thanks for watching. You guys take care. Bye-bye.